Ayan ba?
That's right.
For the police, they were able to set up kagad na radio system before yung typhoon dumating. What happened? Yung system nila na-wash out, yung flood. Kasi that is our system, yung nilagay namin HF. Preparation for the command center kasi alam namin na dun babagsak. Pero hindi namin alam na ma-wash out yung command center. Ang lakas eh. Ang reaction nung after na wash out yun is saan nilalagay yung system. Kasi yung radio, dadating yan sa donation ng mga card copy, ng mga radio dealers. Ang kulang, yung ilaw, saan sasaksak eh? Generator. Yun yung hinihingi namin sa government. Bali, yung time na yun, ang unang kagad na naramdaman umiyak eh. Yung unang umiyak. Tapos, kailangan mag-workout kagad nang mag-set up ng system kasi habang ginagawa ng mga police, yung mga pagkuha ng mga caliber na yan, ang iba naman kailangan mag-set up para iparating sa bayan, sa Luzon, kung ano na yung output kasi walang cellphone. Ayan, yun na yung just share. Kasi
And speaking of which, the contribution of Cardapi, aside from providing the equipment, do you also provide training for your training for of course the amateur operators and of course the licensed operators? What type of training can they get from you for this disaster preparedness? In terms of disaster preparedness, what can they go to Cardapi for? And what's the training time?
Well, actually, Cardapi gave birth because, first of all, Commissioner Cordova realized yung importance ng communication, especially nung nangyari sa, di ba, recently, di ba, sa Tacloban. And nung nakita nga na yung mga telcos nag-shutdown, we realized yung sobrang disturbance, as well as chaotic, yung mga tao na disorient sila, confused, and it actually gave birth for all radio dealers to come up with an organization that will basically catalyze us na to be able to unite all major brands and of course in partnership with National Telecommunications Commission, encouraging people to go back to the basic, the basic use of two-way radio, because we all understand na sa communication, una-una, it's an expensive way of setting up communication. That's one. Pangalawa, yung training is easy. You don't have to be super, high-tech person to be able to use the two-way communication. And from then on, it became our advocacy to not only to push our products but also to help create awareness and promotion that two-way radio we can utilize it especially when disaster strikes.
So Cardapi actually offers sessions or training sessions for them for disaster
Yes.
preparedness.
In fact, the use of two-way radios, according to NTC, they actually reduce even yung age limit. Even at NTC is actually encouraging people at the age of 12 years old, they can actually use amateur radio. So it's legal, and it's okay to use radios even at a younger age.
In preparation for disasters such as Haiyan or other disasters,
Yes, sir.
what would you recommend to the general public? Let's say, for example, they want to prepare. If they need to have a simple two-way communication system in their house, are there any recommendations in terms of what should they purchase, what should they get, so that they can be prepared in disasters such as these?
sa government kasi, two-way radio is the best. HF, two-way radio, okay yan. Pero for the public, for common, sa mga tao lahat, may existing kasi ng cellphone eh. And it is up for the government to choose ng cell site for emergency. Yun yung sinasabi ni Sir Pasig. Kasi ako naniniwala ako dun sa idea na yun. We just hindi ko ma-promote yung product namin kasi product namin yung cell site. Set up ng government agency yun pagka wala ng globe, wala ng smart. Kasi in-set up nila ng emergency cell site. Ngayon, yung mga tao na yun, yung mga nasa area na na-aksidente sila, lahat sila, ang common na gamit is yung cellphone. Bali ngayon, i-on lang ng government yon, tapos magkakaroon text blast, Tapos sa lahat ng may cellphone, marireceive niya yung signal na yan. Tapos i-report lang nila. Kasi yun ang pinaka-common yung cellphone, not the radio. Hindi na kailangan gumastos. Kasi yung mga tao techy na sa cellphone. Yung cellphone, ayos na yun. Government must
Step up, step up.
The
Or hindi
government
naman.
must buy,
Mas purchase.
purchase
Okay.
yung sites para in case of emergency. Hindi na yung lahat ng tao kailangan bumili ng two-way. Kasi mahal pa yun. Existing natin two-way.
And with that, may we kindly ask all of our speakers here today, in terms of disaster resilience, recovery, and rebuild, what are your last few messages for our public, for the regular citizens right now to prepare for disaster? In terms of communication, can we please start off with our friends from Cardapi? And of course, maybe our friends from Pag-asa first. Ms. Hollis, kayo naman po, ano ba yung huling payo nyo sa ating mga kababayan na kailangan prepare, especially this year na it might be the hottest year on record?
So in terms of disaster preparedness, particular po Pag-asa, we really value the role of media talaga. Kasi kailangan natin yung mass communication immediately para makarating talaga sa general public yung ating mga warnings. And we need them to understand our language, particularly yung mga technical jargons na pinaprovide ng Pag-asa. So what Pag-asa is doing is tinitrain namin or nagkakondak kami ng media seminar kasi we really value yung communication in terms of mass communication of providing those immediate information, particularly mga warnings and bulletins namin sa general public and also dun sa mga rescues and sa lahat ng mga concerned agencies natin. So, kailangan yung mga media first yung makaintindi o maka-understand talaga ng technicalities ng aming mga information for them para sila yung magbibigay how to simplify or paano natin may deliver yung ating information na truly understandable by general public. So yun yung napakalaking challenges dun sa amin sa Pag-asa na how can we able to communicate all our languages, technicalities na masisimplify namin at least in the local dialects, particular areas that could badly stricken by those disasters, particularly typhoons. So we really need to train and understand our language, particularly yung media in terms of general information dissemination.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Solis. A round of applause, please. Mr. Rudy Oyang of Hytera, what would you like to share with our friends in the media, especially how Hytera has been able to assist in disaster preparedness here in the Philippines?
Because we are already a company, we are a supplier. So what are we going to do for Philippines or for Karabi is, firstly, directly from our dealers. We'll try our best is supply first the quality, right? The best quality of our product and service, in terms of after service. This is the thing will influence the guys who send the radio in Philippines. So this is what we can do for the guys. Secondly, of course, for the end users, Hytera will try to share more technology information with end users in Philippines and try to join more event and make more, more return to Philippines. Because we are doing business, but we also have responsibility. So this is what we're going to do in this market for Philippines. Growth with Philippines to better and better in terms of supporting the disaster and all the things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rudy Oyang, of course, of Hytera Philippines. And may we kindly ask for a few more words from Mr. Richie Van Angeles of Napasig BRRM, a few more words of advice for disasters.
Yeah, right now, we're almost there. When it comes to warnings, preparedness, nakakarating naman yan. Ang lagi kong sinasabi, worry about after tumama na siya. Doon nagsisimula ang problem. And other people would say, improvise, innovate. We've been doing that for so many years. We have been improvising, we have been innovating. I believe it's about time for our constituents to have better services. And to do that, we must invest to new technologies out there. Because if you don't do that, we will always be just smiling and waiting until the help arrives. And let's not be complacent. Let's all request and pray and fight that we should modernize so that Filipinos, which we always have a disaster every year, will have a better chance of surviving if we improve our technology and communications modernization.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richie Van Angles, Pasig, the RRM Chief. Maybe also hear from the UN OCHA, Mr. Hill. Ocha, not Ocha, I like Ocha. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Hill Revano.
Yeah, for me, I think in terms of preparedness, at least at the minimum, we need to preposition at least various communication channels. Of course, it includes radio. Because for me, I think with so many communication technologies that we have right now, at least we are not limiting not only us humanitarian or responders or communicators, but in a way, we're making it more accessible to the affected communities. And apart from that, to make the technologies more accessible to them, I think it's more of making it, in a way, affordable. Because if you want people to have access to it and it becomes successful, then let's find ways to make it more affordable. And I think it's a challenge, not only in terms of improvising or innovating, but clearly just become more sensitive, I think, on the preferred communication channels in the affected communities. So all of this can be, in a way, successful if we have a minimum preparedness actions. Prepositioning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hiro Revelo. And of course, our last words, may you please welcome our friends from Cardapi, Engineer Cecil Loretta Rivera, Cardapi President, for the words on behalf of Cardapi to put together our show today.
Sa akin, lahat ng sinabi nila tama. Ang kailangan lang natin, yung government, tulungan yung lahat ng tao na mag-act now, na mag-invest siya ng magandang system. Tapos for all the people, syempre practicality, ano yung system ng ang existing ng lahat ng tao, yung cellphone, kaya kailangan government mag-invest ng cellular for the public. Tapos syempre two-way radio for broadcast lahat eh. Kasi kailangan yan yung two-way radio, may broadcast niya lahat. Hindi yung single lang. Kasi ang hindrance sa cellphone natin, tayo lang nag-uusap, tayo lang kakarinigan. For two-way lahat yan. Nalalaman lahat. So, please act now. We should all cooperate para sa ikabubuti ng lahat. Sa isang advocacy natin lahat, mag-save tayo ng buhay.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, final words from Cardapi Chairman, Mr. Marco Mondehar.
Well, alam ko naman na, hello, since morning, disaster na yung pinag-uusapan natin. And one thing na unrealized among of people, disaster in itself, by definition, is chaos. You know, whenever there's chaos, there is so much disturbance, there is so much confusion among people. And isang bagay na unrealized is yung way ng communication because it can actually jeopardize the situation as well as yung mga scenes, it can actually be hazardous. So, ganun ka-importante yung communication. And we put so much stress on this. That's the reason why it became our advocacy as Cardapi because we all understand communication is a vital key in helping people, saving lives, because we understand yung importance po ng seconds and minutes because it involves people's lives, and safety for the general public. Maraming.
Thank you very, very much. A round of applause, please, for Cardapi. Hopefully, our friends from music can communicate their advocacy to the rest of them. And ladies and gentlemen,